investing more deeply in a character should always be better in terms of gameplay outcomes, more health, more damage, more functionality. This is a game about strategic resource management, and you should be rewarded for strategically investing in a character. Hello there my fellow holotable heroes, and welcome to another fleet guides. In this one I'll be revisiting the Executor mirror matches, so we'll be talking about 5, 6 and 7 star Executors versus 7 star Executor mirror matches. Now, because lots of these bounty hunter ships, their speeds are very close, including the Executor itself. If I were to cover every single turn order scenario, this video will be probably about 3 hours long, and I don't think anybody wants that. So I'll just show you some of the more common battles that I encountered from my own testing, obviously show you the teams and how I use different abilities, and hopefully this will help you that you can adapt this strategy based on whatever opponent you are facing. But still, it's going to be quite a lengthy video here, lots of scenarios still to cover, lots of different turn order depending on relic levels and things like that. So grab yourself a drink and a snack and let's just get into it. So first things first, if you don't have 6 or 7 star Executor yet, you will definitely want to pay attention to this, because you absolutely do not want to upgrade this ability here. We only need to keep them from escaping beyond level 6, because if you do that, then whenever you do recover health and protection on one of your ships, if they're bounty hunter, they will also be gaining a taunt. And this is not what you want, because enemy, when they will open up with their big attack, in most likelihood they will go after your Razor Crest. So if you can then just easily heal up your Razor Crest, dispel all the debuffs without worrying then Razor Crest gaining a taunt, this makes all the battles a lot easier. So you definitely want to pay attention here. Obviously, if you do have a 4 or 5 star, you don't have to worry about this yet, but once you do get to 6 stars, you will be able to upgrade this ability to level 7, but please don't do it. It will be detrimental, as I will showcase in my videos later. So again, it kind of goes against that principle design that CG has always promoted, saying that you shouldn't be penalized for upgrading your abilities and maxing out your characters, and in this case you are absolutely penalized to do this. And now this will be quite an easy fix to fix this ability. So for example, here it says if the target ally is bounty hunter, they also gain foresight and taunt. So this should just be rewarded, change to say if the target is a bounty hunter and a tank. So only tanks would taunt. That would make sense, at least to me. I think that would be an easy fix just to get this ability, being useful at the max level. As it is, you do not want to go beyond level 6, as you will see from my battles later on. Now, in terms of the other mechanics here, really, there's a lot to cover. I don't want to go too much into detail into everything, but the main thing here is Vader's bounty. So this is the target lock and the breach race that we have to go for. So whenever you inflict target lock 20 times, then everybody get, like permanent target lock, as well as breach on them applied. And as well, whenever you do apply breach, you will then also cleanse all your debuffs from you as well. So this is very powerful ability there that we need to look out for. And why breach is important is because of the ultimate ability here. Every time obviously we apply breach, we will be reducing the cooldown here of the ultimate ability. So there are really two things there here to look out for: trying to apply target lock as much as you can, applying breach as much as you can, while at the same time trying to prevent the enemy to apply breach, trying to prevent the enemy to apply target lock on you, so that you can win the race. While obviously the target lock race is very important to get those undispellable debuffs on them, it really comes down to the breach in the end will be better, because if you can get to your ultimate before the enemy, even if they get target locks before you, you can still come out with a win in the end. So whenever you do have a choice, or either do I do a basic to apply target lock, do I use a special ability to apply breach, always make sure to prefer using special abilities to get that done. So this is Executor in a quick nutshell. We'll cover more things in the battles. Now the second thing we have to cover here is really the turn order. The ideal turn order, no matter your star level Executor, is that your Executor goes first from your ships, and then followed up by Xanadu Blood and Razor Crest. And ideally, both your Razor Crest and Xanadu Blood, that they are slower than enemy Razor Crest and enemy Xanadu Blood. And that is because if you go first, you apply Breach and mark on them with your Xanadu Blood and Razor Crest, and then they go after you, they will apply Breach on you, and they will just cleanse off all those debuffs you just apply of them. Again, another kind of going against the principle here that CG has always promoted, that you want to have your characters leveled up as much as possible, have them high relics as much as possible. However, here again, you're being penalized by being faster, because then you are unable to cleanse off the debuffs when enemy goes and applies on you. Not sure what would be the easiest solution for this one, though. It's not, I think, as straightforward as the one that's simply adding a taunt that applies to tanks only. But anyway, let me show you what I mean here. Once I'll show you the mods, but let's talk about now the whole target lock and breach race that we have to do. There are really kind of two key here sources of breach. One is actually from Razor Crest itself. So whenever one of your bounty hunter allies use a special ability, they will apply breach, which cannot be resisted or evaded. So another key here source of breach is Xanadu's basic attack, because it can inflict breach for 2 turns. Now these, unlike when you do your special abilities, can be resisted, can be evaded. So from all of my testing, like weeks of testing in mirror matches, probably the only bit of RNG that can ruin really your win is if your Xanadu Blood is not getting any double taps, because there is 65% chance to have a double tap and enemies getting all the double taps, which means they're getting more target locks, they're getting more breach on the board. So definitely I would say this is the key here, RNG factor in all the mirror matches to look out for. Okay, so now with that in mind, let's look up now the rest of the pilots here. Now also something to bear in mind here with Slave 1 is on its basic attack, if it targets a breached enemy, it will dispel all the buffs. Now why this is important, because when you do come in as a reinforcement, or they come in as a reinforcement, they will have chaff on them buff or yours as well, and then you can't target lock those guys. But if they have breach, then Slave 1 can easily dispel obviously chaff, and then they can start reapplying target lock. So just something to be aware of there from basic on Slave 1, that it can dispel your buffs. And of course, working nicely here with the whole breach target lock raise there is the here special from Slave, and because it will reset its cooldown on seismic charge whenever you get that contract triggered. Alright, so the rest of the fleet here I want to talk about is Ebon Hawk. Ebon Hawk, no matter the level, there you go, my pilots are not that high level. What you want to do is have it as one of your reinforcements, because in a lot of cases you will want to bring Ebon Hawk as a reinforcement, and then not only Ebon Hawk, all your allies will gain chaff for 2 turns, and then they won't be able to be target locked. So this will then kind of put you ahead in the target lock race eventually. And then as well, it's Scramble Scanner special abilities here. Can apply buff immunity on a Houndstooth, but it'll get cleansed off, so that's not really the key for this ability, is that it will reapply chaff for another 2 turns. So essentially you've got like kind of 3 turns of enemy not able to land any target locks on your guys. So this is very important as well. Ebon Hawk, you don't have to have level up pilots at all. Its abilities will work. Alright, so now let's go into the battles. So first things first, I'll do a 5-star versus 7-star Executor mirror match for you. Let me just show you the speeds here. So here my Executor, when it was at 5 stars, it had 178 speed. So remember when I said your Executor should be faster than your Xanadu Blood and Razor Crest. So I'm just showing you the mods as well here, that you can see what kind of mods I have on guys. So Xanadu Blood here, I want it to be slower than my 5-star Executor. So I got 177. And in order to do that, I had to remove mods. Again, kind of going against the spirit of the game, the way the game is supposed to be designed, that you shouldn't be penalized by upgrading your characters, upgrading your mods. So that's what I had to do in my Relic 5 Cat Bane, so that I got Xanadu Blood to 177 speed, and then Razor Crest, again slower, even at 176. And this is where many of you might struggle. If you do have like a Relic 8 Beskar, you might not be able to make it slower than CAD. In my case, again, I had to remove here a lot of mods from my Mandalorian, even at Relic 3, that it was in the end 1 speed slower than my Xanadu Blood. Finally, Houndstooth, just minimum requirements. Relic 5 doesn't really matter, to be honest. And let's hop into the battle now, and let me show you how I run this team. So the enemy, obviously, they are, Relic tab. They will go first. In most cases, they target your Razor Crest, which feeds Termeter to your Houndstooth. You target their Houndstooth, so you don't feed Termeter to it. Then they go apply all the debuffs on your guys. And this is now nice here because you can heal up your Razor Crest nicely there without putting taunt on it. And then you will target actually Xanadu Blood. Previously I would go after Razor Crest, but Razor Crest is very tanky, so instead I'm just gunning down their Xanadu Blood first, because remember, they will not get double taps, less target locks, no less breaches as well on basic from Xanadu Blood. So that was really, I think, better to go after Xanadu Blood first, just to slow them down. Then I'm bringing in here my Ebon Hawk as the first reinforcement, just to get Chaff on the field so they can't land target locks on my guys. And I'm just going around here. Okay, when Ebon Hawk gets its next turn, what you want to do is just reapply Chaff with using the special ability. Here they come. Okay, they cleanse everything off, doesn't matter. And now I'm going to do my mass assist here, getting some double taps, hopefully with my Xanadu Blood. Just, keep going, and then just staying away from Razor Crest, going after Slave 1 now. Okay, no double tap there, unfortunately, my Xanadu Blood. Okay, keep going, keep applying Breach whenever you can. There goes Ebon Hawk, that's fine, it did its job. Alright, here comes IG now as the reinforcement. Just doing basic, and there we go, we already got our contract now. We got target locks, we got Breach. I'm not sure what kind of bug is there, but you've seen IG doesn't have a target lock for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, it's because it had Chaff actually. So there you go. It's good to know, good to point that out. So IG there had Chaff from the reinforcement ability, and these target locks will not apply there, so it can't be resisted. So it's good to point that out as well, I guess. But anyway, I'm marking down Razor Crest now. Do here big AoE. Perfect, and there we go. We already on our ultimate now, blow up their Executor, and just a case of cleaning up here the board, and it's a win. Now, obviously, in terms of the opening sequence there, it will happen sometimes that they will take out your Razor Crest before your Executor gets a turn, especially at 5-star when your Executor is slower. This can happen, but for me, I was getting about 50% win rate there with this team that I showed you now. Alright, so moving up now, I upgraded my Executor to 6 stars now, but as mentioned before, I did not upgrade that ability beyond level 6 because I do not want to put taunt on my Razor Crest. So now Executor, its speed has been increased to 183, that I upgraded to 6 stars, and this means that I can actually speed up my Razor Crest now a bit, and Xanadu Blood, so I could put some mods back on my pilots, because they just need to be slower really than my Executor. So there you go. And also, once you do get there the 6-star Executor, then in some cases when you go up against maybe lower relic Razor Crest, lower relics, Xanadu Bloods, that your Executor will be faster than, or if they're high relic, it will be slower. So again, the preference here is that you are slower, so you can then cleanse off all the debuffs after enemies have done all their attacks. So again, kind of being penalized for being faster here. But anyway, let's run the battle now. You'll see they target first my Razor Crest. Okay, there we go. We apply Breach, then they go first. Perfect. There we go. Alright. My Razor Crest, there you go, barely hanging in there. As I said, probably 1 out of 3 times it can happen that they gun down your Razor Crest before you are able to heal up. But now I was able to hang on there, heal up. Now we can mark their Xanadu Blood. Hopefully take it out. Perfect. We got a double tap this time from Xanadu Blood. Bringing in Boba again as the reinforcement. Alright, and then I'm bringing my Ebon Hawk as reinforcements. As you can see, it runs pretty much the same as a 5-star Executor, 6 stars. It's just you can be a little bit faster with your pilots. That's really The only difference, however, when you do make your pilots faster, you may run into issues here versus those low relic fleets, which anyway I will show you afterwards what happens when you're going up against those guys that did you go after you. But same thing here as we did in the first battle. Just going after now these guys, perfect. Then take out Boba there if we can. Another double tap, perfect. We got our contract triggered now. Okay. Alright, let's keep applying breach. And they're bringing IG again. Alright. No double tap this time. No case of going there after IG because we can't target lock because it got chaff. One more turn to our ultimate. Just gonna bring in Boba now. Unload the seismic charge. Perfect. Okay, we get some counterattacks now. They do their AoE. Okay, yeah, that's fine. One hit, two hit. Get him out, and you know, we're pretty much set here. Unload the Death Star and, you know, clean up the board here. So there you go. So you can see the difference between 5s and 6 stars is not a whole lot difference as long as you don't upgrade that ability that would add a taunt to level 6. Alright, so let's show you another battle here. So on this one I want to illustrate what happens if the enemy is slower, if enemy Razor Crest and Xanadu Blood are slower than yours. And you will see the big difference in the battle here. Okay, there we go. Okay, we heal up as always, no issues here. Alright, so now, you know, if I do the same as before, I go after either Xanadu Blood or actually Razor Crest, doesn't really matter. See, I apply mark on them, then they get a turn, and now Xanadu Blood will get a turn, apply breach on me, cleanse off the mark and breach. And now I'm debuffed and they are all cleansed off. And so that there we go, again being penalized here for having high relic pilots, or you know, having 6 dot mods versus 5 dot mods on them. And there you go, I'm gonna lose Razor Crest in a moment here. So again, you know, not a ideal scenario here that you have to remove mods or something like that, but you know, there are really kind of two ways really to deal with this situation. One of them is you know, you can either remove mods from your guys, or as I will show in the second battle there, you can then bring in either Plo Koon or Gauntlet for a second round of cleansing. However, then you're a little bit behind with the whole target lock race, but at least you can keep your Razor Crest alive. Because, you know, when you're climbing in arena, you know, you can go ahead, remove mods and stuff like that, but if you really want to go in Grand Arena and Territory Wars with no mods on your Mandalorian, I mean, Cat Bane we don't use him much, I think would be okay to have a modless cat, but you know, basically Mandalorian, he can take out a lot of teams either on defense or offense. Anyway, so this is versus the same opponent, this time with mods removed to make sure that I go after them, and you will see the big difference here in the whole battle now. Okay, so now they go first, they waste their whole attacks applying debuffs, and now can easily go ahead there, again mark their Cat Bane without worrying that Cat Bane would cleanse itself off, because, you know, it already had its turn. There you go, there goes Cat Bane, no issues whatsoever. Okay, they're coming in now. Okay, and then again bringing Ebon Hawk, and then the rest of the battle is pretty much the same. So this I just wanted to here portray the difference here going up against slow fleet or fast fleet. So it's not anymore race of who has the faster Razor Crest and faster Xanadu Blood. Really the race has become who's got a slower Razor Crest and slower Xanadu Blood, because this gives you a huge advantage just because of the ability here that Executor brings, that whenever you do inflict breach, you will cleanse off all the debuffs on that ship. So again, you know, kind of going against that whole design, that game design that CG has always promoted, that you shouldn't be penalized for leveling up your characters. Okay, there we go. So who knows, maybe we'll have more changes coming to Executor to address this. I'm not sure, but at the moment it is a bit of a unusual situation that we found ourselves in, where you have to remove mods from your characters to gain advantage in a battle. And you know, sometimes, like I said, if you have a Relic 8 Mandalorian, probably even removing mods won't be enough, that it will be slower than Relic 5 Xanadu Blood. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have a Relic 8 or Relic 7 Mandalorian. How slow can you make him by removing mods? Okay, there you go. Battle pretty easy, just because my Xanadu Blood and my Razor Crest were slower than the enemy ones. Alright, there we go. Finished off. Clean up. Now, as mentioned before, another option here is you can bring in Gauntlet in, because you know, Gauntlet, when it comes in, it will recover some protection there, and as well you can then use the ability that will dispel all the debuffs, so it's kind of a second cleanse there, if you will. But then, you know, you're kind of really lagging behind in the whole target lock race, breach race. Another option is you can also bring in what's its name, Plow Starfighter as well. You can do that also, which I will show you later in the 7-star mirror matches. But here I just wanted to show you that even with a low gear Gauntlet, that can still work. And there you go. Plow Starfighter is the same thing. It will come in, recover some health protection, dispel debuffs, and then you can also put a taunt on somebody, booster meters. Definitely Plow is a more versatile reinforcement than Gauntlet. But you know, Plow can be used elsewhere, like, you know, in Grand Arena or Territory Wars, whereas Gauntlet, especially at low gears, you know, it won't really be useful, so at least, you know, it can help you out, hopefully. But anyway, let me just show you how this goes now. So again, this is, I put mods back on my pilots so that I will be faster again. Again, this is, again, same opponent as before. So now we will just a little bit heal up here, our Razor Crest. Then we'll go ahead, debuff their Xanadu Blood. However, in a moment, Xanadu Blood will cleanse itself unless we take it out. We got him out. Okay, fine. But still, there we go. Then Razor Crest was able to apply debuffs on us, which is not ideal, because now we'll get ability blocked by Slave 1. And then on its next turn, Razor Crest can use basic on my Razor Crest, apply mark on it, and it's game over. And that's why you want to bring in Gauntlet or Plow for the cleanse, just to get those debuffs off. However, we do not have now Chaff, unfortunately, from Ebon Hawk on everybody else. So these guys, they can start landing target locks on us. But because we did take Xanadu Blood out, we still have a chance to win here. But if Xanadu Blood would have survived that opening sequence from me, then probably this battle wouldn't end up all that well. Alright, again, the rest of the battle goes the same now, going after Slave 1. There we go, contract triggered, getting breach. Okay, what I've got for us, bringing IG as a second reinforcement. Okay, just hope I can hang in there long enough. Perfect. And there you go. We were able to only get to the ultimate ability here, just because we kept our Xanadu Blood alive for the double tap, whereas we took out their Xanadu Blood very quickly, so they didn't have a chance to double tap or just even apply on a single tap breach. And now it's just a case of cleaning these guys up, bringing in, you know, Slave 1 to the seismic charge, finish off Razor Crest, and now we finish off the rest, and that's it really. So after this battle, I will actually move on onto the 7-star mirror matches with abilities maxed out. Now this footage was provided by one of my Shard members, Toxic, so thank you so much for helping me out with the 7-star Executor testing, because mine won't be 7 stars for another few months at least. But anyway, if you have upgraded, as you can see, he has his abilities maxed out there. So when we do use cleanse with the 7-star Executor with maxed out abilities, you will be putting taunt on your Razor Crest, so which is not great. So if you've done that, I've come up with a team here together that can still win this. So I'm just showing you here the speeds on the pilots from my Shards mates ships, that you can see the turn order and everything. So he's got the right turn order, where Xanadu Blood is faster 1 speed than Razor Crest. However, if you do have a 7-star Executor and you know you were figuring out that actually you shouldn't be maxing out the taunt ability, then probably the mirror matches are much easier for you when you get your Executor 7 stars. But anyway, there we go. They go first, they go after my Razor Crest as always. So then what you do is you will just again proceed as we did with 5 and 6 stars. We'll be now applying breach on there. However, because now this ability here in this case is maxed out, you do get a taunt on your Razor Crest, and here they come again, another wave of attacks on Razor Crest, and that's where again you're being penalized by, you know, maxing out the ability there. But from here on out, we'll just proceed as normal. We'll be target locking their Xanadu Blood, but unfortunately I still have a taunt on my Razor Crest, so they can still go after it. Took out the Razor Crest. Now I've got not just taunt, I also have mark, I have target lock on my Razor Crest. So as the first reinforcement, bringing in Plow now, cleanse off all those debuffs, and then Plow can put a taunt on himself. And he's got Chaff because he came in as a reinforcement, so whenever they do attack him, then obviously they won't be able to land target lock on him, which will kind of slow down the target lock race for the enemy. Obviously do not target their Slave 1 because he's got Chaff, you won't be able to target lock it. That's why I just wanted to highlight it. And luckily it seems like because Plow here is the weakest ship, the enemy has preference for it, so instead of you know, hitting their Houndstooth, it will be more attacking Plow, while it's got Chaff, which will help you a little bit slow down their target lock progress. Alright, there we go. Anyway, they can take out Plow, he did his job. Now again, turning my attention to Slave 1. Alright, there he goes. But you know, he did his job here. Let's apply Breach now on Houndstooth. They're bringing IG as the second reinforcement. And then me, I will be bringing in here Ebon Hawk again. I don't want them to get the target locks out. No sense of bringing in Boba yet because the contract hasn't been triggered, so he wouldn't be able to get out his seismic charge anyway. So in this case, just bring in Ebon Hawk to prevent them from being able to target lock your guys. So go, keep working on Boba there. Alright, they've got their contract triggered. Okay, that's fine, but because obviously we were here able to keep our Xanadu Blood alive and take out their Xanadu Blood, we still got to the contract before, sorry, to the ultimate before them, just because of that basic there from Xanadu Blood that can apply Breach as well. Because remember, we've got two races here, Target Lock race and the Breach race. While Target Lock race is more obvious and can obviously help you out with Boba getting out his seismic charge early on, it's eventually the Breach race that will really get you to the ultimate faster. Alright, so let's do a few more battles here, just to show you different RNG, different ways here of handling this. Again, going after my Razor Crest. Again, unfortunately, ability maxed out here, so Razor Crest will get a taunt. Again, if you did not max out that ability, don't do it, because then, you know, you would be able to just have a taunt now on Houndstooth and you wouldn't have to worry about keeping your Razor Crest alive. As always, going after enemies Xanadu Blood first. Here comes Boba, dispelling all the buffs there with his basic on our Razor Crest. So again, let's bring in Plow, clean up this mess, put a taunt on Plow now. And he's got Chaff, so whenever they do attack him, they won't be target locking him. So like, come on, attack Plow, don't attack Houndstooth. Okay. He got a lucky dodge there. Alright, time to unload our mass attack now. There we go, perfect. Unfortunately, I had their target lock on my Razor Crest, so Slave 1 was able to do an AoE on him. Okay, alright. Going after Slave 1 now. Apply Breach. I lost their my Razor Crest, unfortunately. Okay, but you know, you can still pull out a win. They got even a contract here, and this is where I want to show you this battle. So in this case, instead of bringing in Ebon Hawk, they already have their contract triggered. So what you want to do is bring in Slave 1, and because there was target lock on enemy Slave 1, you can ability block it, so it's unable to get out the seismic charge before you do. So just something, you know, a little bit to pay attention to. Okay, they're going after my Boba now. Okay, barely hanging in there. Alright, come on, hang in there, buddy. Well, there we go, unload that, there we go. And now we just have to kind of hang on for our lives here, and we should be able to get to our ultimate hopefully in a moment. They're bringing in Gauntlet, and there we go, unload the ultimate. Things didn't look that great, but you know, because of the timely ability block with our Boba's ship on their Boba ship, we were able to sustained this long enough that we made it all the way to our ultimate before they did. Again, all thanks to because we targeted their Xanadu blood first, get it out very quick early in the battle, so then we were ahead with the whole breach race, even though they won the target lock race in this case. Alright, okay, there we go, just cleaning this up. Especially once you get the Houndstooth out and Razor Crest, you know, they've got nothing. Alright, so another battle here, again, 7-star versus 7 stars. Executor, let's see what I will do next. Going after Razor Crest. Okay, landing there. Put a taunt up with Houndstooth again. Unfortunately, have to put a taunt here on your own Razor Crest when you've got maxed abilities. Okay, so they're doing some good hits on the Razor Crest here. So let's go ahead again after their Xanadu Blood now. 1 hit, 2 hit, perfect. That's what I said, like, really from my testing, the only bit of RNG here in any kind of mirror matches I was doing is, does your Xanadu Blood double tap more than the enemy Xanadu Blood? It really comes down to that, unfortunately. But it's nothing we can do, it's 65% chance that will do it. But from my testing, especially here with 7-star versus 7 stars, I was getting 4 out of 5 wins easily. And I would imagine if, you know, the ability there that puts the taunt up wouldn't be maxed out, I'm pretty sure, you know, this would be 100% win every single time. Obviously there with 5 and 6-star Executor, you won't be able to quite get 100% win rate just because your Executor might be too slow versus fast Xanadu Bloods and fast Razor Crests, so it won't be able to heal up your Razor Crest before they do all their you know, mass attacks and things like that. But once your Executor is at 7-star, you will always be able to outrun them and heal up your Razor Crest before they take it out. So definitely, if you haven't yet upgraded that ability, do not max it out. You do not want taunt on your Razor Crest, absolutely. So you can see battle pretty much going on as normal as before. We already got their Boba out, we got our contract. We can apply the taunt on Plow. We got Ebon Hawk as the second reinforcement just to slow them down. Okay. Alright. There we go. We already got our ultimate. So this was a very clean win actually in the end. Okay. As well, I will not show you battles here where your Executor gets the coin flip and goes first, because probably those matches are much easier. So again, I don't want to make this video 3 hours long, so I'm just kind of trying to focus on what I found was the tougher matchups for me when I was doing the testing, just to see how this all works. So let's do this one more time, just again, different RNG here, maybe different reinforcements. Let's go and have a look. Alright, they're going after Razor Crest, as all in most cases they do. Maybe 1 out of 5 times they will target your Houndstooth. You know, in those battles you're good to go, really, don't have to worry about anything. Again, putting here Force Taunt on a Razor Crest, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead after Xanadu Blood there on the enemy side, mark you down, and let's call an assist now. Alright, this time no double tap. That's what I wanted to show you as well. You know, how battles go if you are not able to take their Xanadu Blood out immediately in the first go. So again, bringing in now Plow here as the first reinforcement, and in this case, instead of putting the taunt up on my Plow, I just wanted to boost turn meter to the rest of my fleet, so they were able to take out Xanadu Blood before it gets a turn, because if on its basic would apply breach, then obviously it would cleanse off the mark there. But anyway, they already got their target locks out, unloaded seismic charge, but now with Xanadu Blood out, they won't be doing a bonus damage to your guys that are breached. That's why another reason why I want to go after Xanadu Blood first, not Razor Crest. Alright, I'm still kind of waiting for my contract. There you go. This is probably like worst case scenario battle that I'm showing you here. This was the toughest one in the end, but hey, they already got their contract triggered, so no sense bringing in Ebon Hawk to slow down, because they already got it. It doesn't really matter. Bringing in my Slave 1 now, so I can as well do some big hits, hopefully, when I do get a turn here. Alright, one more turn as well to the ultimate. Unload seismic charge. Take care of their slave 1. Okay, there we go. See, again, they weren't able yet get to their ultimate yet, just because they did not have any more Xanadu blood from beginning that was able to land some extra breaches on its basic attacks. And now just a case of cleaning this up, nothing really too challenging here. Once you have those guys down, still, Boba alive there, Xanadu blood, they'll be able to do enough damage here to finish off these guys. And there you go, guys. Hopefully this video showed you how you're being penalized there for maxing your abilities on Executor, as well having higher relic pilots than the enemy, that you go before them just because of how the whole kit of Executor was designed. You're being put at a disadvantage there. Obviously I can't speak for relic 8 versus relic 8, how that works, because I only have access to lower relic fleets. Maybe once both fleets are maxed out, maybe the things work differently. Now I know there are lots of possible combinations here of these mirror matches when it comes to star levels, relics, mods and things like that. I wasn't able to cover every single of them, but at least hopefully showing you now how I adapted my strategy, that I'm actually prioritizing taking out Xanadu blood out first, just to slow down their double tapping, double target locks, possible double breaches on basic there from Xanadu blood. That it doesn't even matter if they win the target lock race, because you keep your Xanadu blood alive, you in the end win the breach race, which allows you to unload your Death Star before they do, which then allows you to win the battle, especially with 7 star pretty much 100% of the time. If you haven't maxed out that ability yet, if you have, from my testing I was able to win 4 out of 5 times with the strategy of double cleansing, as I showed you there. So I hope you find this video useful and helpful. Let me know in the comments below or on my Discord server, but until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.